Norbitz. I'm the Vice President of Tribeca Studios, and I oversee all of the artist development programs at the Tribeca Festival. And I'm a huge fan of Lauren and her team and your company, and it's such a pleasure to speak with you today. I'm so glad I saw this in a theater.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I'd seen it in different forms, as we all tend to do, but it's so impactful to both hear the incredible sound design and see some of the detail work in the production, but also you could hear a pin drop, like everyone's holding their breath at the end of the film. It's very impactful. So I'm really glad we got to see it in this context. Is this on at all, by the way? Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So please tell me, initial inspiration, when did you begin writing this film? When did you shoot it? I'd like the early timeline a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's okay before. I just want to say thank you to everybody again for being here, and thank you to you for taking the time to not only watch it, but really consider the film as a whole. So I started filming in 2023, but I wrote the film several years prior to that, after my second daughter was born. So I have two girls, and in between their birth, I was also pregnant and experienced an abortion due to genetic issues. And so after I had my daughter Lilybell, I was experiencing this immense sense of joy and love and excitement over the child that we had just had, but at the same time I was carrying so much grief and sadness over the one that we had lost. And so I was just struck by how much that abortion and the loss still lived in my body. So I started writing a script, not knowing if I would ever put it out there into the world. It was a very vulnerable experience. Obviously, we hadn't really told a lot of people besides our family what we had gone through, and it really wasn't until the reversal of Roe vs. Wade that I kind of set everything else aside, and I thought, this is really important. This should be made. This should be seen. I had a desire to really create community and to help others who had gone through something similar to see themselves reflected back, because I hadn't experienced that. I felt, again, very alone in the experience. So yeah, I was very lucky to meet Elena and Hoffa, my insanely amazing producers. Cannot sing their praises. They're not here today, but they are absolutely incredible, and they really trusted my vision for the film and supported it, and we shot in 2023.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right during the strike. It was
a wonderful year.
We got our SAG waiver like the Friday night, like an hour before SAG. Is it on?
No.
Oh, no.
I think they can hear.
Oh, it is?
Okay.
Hold it close.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just gotta get intimate with it. Okay. So yeah, about a couple hours before they closed on a Friday, and our first day of shooting was on a Sunday. So, yeah.
For you.
It was fun.
Oh my God. What I really think is so impactful about the way that you structured the story and centered it on this character that is in part inspired by your experience is there's an incredible specificity to her situation, yet this is very much more common than we talk about. We've already exchanged stories. We know this person, we're just meeting. Tell us a little bit about the decision to share as much as you did about the unique circumstances of their decision.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have always had the perspective that the more specific you are, the more universal the story becomes, and I think that by being true to my own experience and again, it's not about the diagnosis, it's not about, you know, the medical issues, it's about what this couple is going through.
Yeah.
It's about their relationship, about her internal, both of theirs, their internal experience. And I could, at the time when writing it, I could only really be true to my own experience, because again, I hadn't really spoken to anyone else who had gone through the loss of a planned pregnancy in this way. So yeah, I think it really came from just a truthful place, and really kept notes about how the feelings kept erupting inside of me, and that's kind of where all of the transitions came from, and this idea of memory never being linear. And so that's why the film is the way that it is because memory doesn't exist in a way where everything just happens one thing after another. It is triggered by the present moment. So
I really like that about the film. A touch, a word, a sensation sends you flying into another memory that feels also true to life, but so cinematic. And some of the transitions in the film are so exciting. I think of the couch as like a big standout moment. The seatbelt, I find the balloon sequence very effective. Can you talk a little bit about, from a production perspective, how you were able to achieve some of those moments?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So everything was done practically. We spent a month building the sets. Danny Sistone is our production designer. He's absolutely incredible. He worked day and night. We had friends putting up wallpaper and painting flats, and we worked. I just want to stop actually for a second because Ludo, our DP, is here.
Congratulations!
Incredible DP. And Karen Spruik, who's from Planned Parenthood, is also here. So I'm sure if there are any really technical questions, we can force Ludo over. Okay, now I lost my train of thought.
But everything was practical.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Maya. Everything was practical. So we pulled Tala through the couch. 4 people on the other side of the wall. She did it. It was the last scene of that last day, as Ludo probably remembers, and we're like, go, push her through, so it was really important to me that also the actors truly felt the environment then and there, that they were experiencing the space that they were living in, and it was wonderful, and I'm really grateful for the team that we had building all of that.
Good. And her name is Tala, right?
Tala Ash.
God, she's good.
She's amazing. She was actually nominated for a Tony this year.
Oh, okay. Well, that's surprising. So what were the conversations that you had with her about crafting this character? Because it's so much is just work in her face, and there are moments where she's very isolated, although with a supportive partner, and you're able to see her sort of come in and out of interactions with people, but really sitting with all of this. And that last scene is very effective when you realize that the memory before you, what the title mean. So what were the conversations that you had with her and the preparation?
Yeah, absolutely. So Tala was actually the first person that I brought onto the film. So she was involved and in conversation with me probably a year and a half before we shot. And she lives in New York, I'm in LA, but we had the opportunity to meet several times prior to shooting. And I work with this incredible Alexander coach named Jean-Louis Rodrigue. He's really wonderful. My husband, who's an actor, I've been doing work with him for several years, and then I started working with him after I finished the script, and Tal and I did a lot of work together with him, so we even experienced this very interesting physical interaction through this thing called the 5 Rhythms, where Jean-Louis would play 5 different songs, and we would just, physically interact with one another.
I've never heard that.
Yes, so I think there was a really wonderful connection that Tala and I created with one another. There was a lot of trust. I think as a woman, she's also, as you were saying earlier, we've all we all have our stories, you know, so I think that she was able to bring her own experience as well as my experience that she was able to adopt to the film, and I think she is just a really brilliant actress who can
very
hold
nuanced.
So much, very nuanced, so it was really wonderful to connect with her in that way, because I think once we were on set there was a lot of trust. I would, you know, check in, but she was, you know, that we had already established, exactly, but we had established a really strong relationship, so I feel, that hopefully that helped her to feel more comfortable telling my story.
What the very ending of the film, where we're in a new chapter, but she's having these memories, and to me when the title comes up it's like a click, it all kind of hits you at once. Was that always the intended ending of the film? That's great.
Because I did write it after having my daughter. It was always really about, you know, I never wanted this film to feel like a PSA or to feel, I mean, I know it's heavy, I know that it's heartbreaking, but there was always this sense that there's joy as well, you know, there is love, there's love between the couple. There's, so that you're hopefully not left with complete and utter, you know, sadness, but that both of those feelings can exist at the same time.
I think it's wonderful to see a couple in a film that's going through a difficult journey, especially a fertility journey that is supportive and loving and caring. Like there's such a sort of trope of the absentee husband or the mean wife, and you've avoided that, but by giving them so much intimacy between them. So how did you sort of craft that intimacy between the two actors?
So we, so Tala was the first person on, and Adam was the last. So Adam had worked with Jean-Louis, and so he had introduced me to him and thought that he would be a great companion to Tala. And the minute we saw them on Zoom reading together, we're like, this is it. Like they're perfect, it clicked. And then prior to shooting, we did do a day of rehearsal where I did the 5 rhythms with them so that they were forced to connect in that very physical way. I interviewed them as a couple, just kind of getting to know their story. But I think, you know, they're both just such strong actors who really understood the nuance in the script that there wasn't a ton of, you know, besides that one day where I think it just allowed them to get comfortable with one another. They both truly understood the journey of their own characters. But yeah, they were, knock on wood, they were pretty easy to work with, so
and the film has this very foreboding sense of feeling trapped, anxiety, needing, like building toward what is eventually a catharsis for her, but you've used sound in such a clever way to do that. The heartbeats, the tire screeching, and it's very trackable. As soon as it's silent, you feel it in your body. And the color, the warmth of the pink sort of bookending the film, the gray. Can you talk a little bit about this stylization? And it's not fully naturalism, it's somewhere else. So why was that the preferred method?
I come from the art world, so my background is in studio art. I went to undergrad and graduate school in studio art. I come from a photography background, moved into video installation, and then experimental film, and this is my most narrative film, but I think I very much think visually first, and probably visually, and then in sound second, and dialogue last. You know? But it was, you know, after after I finished the script and I was talking to Danny about the production design, and Gluto was also a part of the conversation about color and how, you know, dealing with kind of these 2 timelines, how the gray would exist for the portion of the film in which they're on their way to the abortion, and then the memories of, kind of discovering about the pregnancy, that those would kind of exist in a wheel. So they would start out pink, kind of go more towards a deep orange, then the kind of, that yellow, the kind of sick yellow of the dance room, which is the mourning space, to kind of more of a greenish gray in the doctor's office where she asked about the genetic testing, back to kind of the more gray setting in the doctor's office, and eventually back to the pink where she's with her baby. So it really,
I love that.
Yeah. So that's what really drove. They're wearing gray throughout the portion of them going to the abortion, but then the setting, the production design, as well as the costumes and everything were very much based on that conceptual basis for color.
And the sound,
some of it was written in. So like the baby cry when the wheels turn in the garage, that was already written into the script. But we worked with 1,000 Birds, and they're an incredible sound design. One of my very good friends, Gio, it was his first film to ever score.
Really?
He did an amazing job. He's an incredible guitarist. And it was just, finding ways to really think about how sound exists in the body and memory, and again, what triggers the memory of an experience. And so even within what we call the womb scene, so much of that sound is about the dream of what it would be to become a parent or to become a mother. And so the silence that comes after that is also, a metaphor for that dream ending. So
it's very effective. The last thing that we see is a Planned Parenthood card. So what does it mean to have their support on this film, and what are you hoping the intended messaging and impact is to have that, the last thought in your mind when the films come to an end?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been wonderful working with Karen. She's such an amazing advocate for the film and for stories like these. And we met after the film was, I think we were almost pretty much done with post. So it was interesting to kind of have conversations about where this exists within the political landscape, seeing that this was never meant to be a political film. My goal was always to humanize the experience of abortion, not politicize it. And so I think for Karen and I, a lot of it was the language around the film. How do we navigate kind of this crazy landscape that we're in, and what terminology was most effective. And we also we worked with Planned Parenthood a lot, doing panels at a lot of the festivals that we were at, which was really incredible. And Karen's been so absolutely amazing. And I think expanding, sometimes people, when they think of Planned Parenthood, they think of the support that Planned Parenthood has given to the unintended pregnancy. And I think that it's been really wonderful to talk to Karen, work with her about how, we can support the community of men and women who have gone through loss with a planned and intended pregnancy. So it's been a real pleasure, and we're looking forward to continuing that collaboration and seeing ways that we can take it to universities and just again foster more conversation around the subject.
I mean, I think we're all in this room because there's a part of us that deeply believes that stories create empathy and impact, and you can affect hearts and minds. So such a coup to you to partner with an organization that is so revered. What has it been like going festival to festival? I know you have been in many cities and states. I've
actually been very surprised at how many red states we've played. We've gone to Idaho, to Texas, to Alabama, Oklahoma, And so it's been really incredible being able to show the film in those environments. And we've had so many incredible conversations with people after the film where they will either share their own personal story with us, maybe they come just for a hug. A lot of men have been very vocal about appreciating, I think, seeing a man experience this, you know, that
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, so that's again something that, you know, I was very conscious of the fact that you don't always see a couple going through this, but that, you know, hopefully it would create more conversation, and it has. It's been really wonderful everywhere that we've gone, just to again to remove the stigma and the silence that so many carry with them about this experience, and just to have more open dialogue is just so important.
It's such a beautiful offering to share, to encourage people to share. I could talk to you all day, but are there other questions for Lauren? I'd be happy to open the floor to see if there's any questions. I don't want to miss anything that you're dying to know. No, go ahead, please.
In the film, when the couple are about to get in the elevator, the ring is taken off and given to her companion. What's the significance of that?
So it's a bit of a, so it's part of the experience that I had where I kept my ring on as we were going to the surgery, but it is a bit of a nod to the relationship that they have, of he's just holding on to something that is hers when she is going to a place that he can't be a part of. So it's meant to be very subtle and internal, but it was important to me to keep that in there.
So it says a lot about the trust between them. Like a lot of medical procedures, you are not allowed to wear any jewelry, and that sort of logistical nod, but the metaphor of trust there, I actually love that moment very much. I find that very relatable. Any other questions for me?
Any questions for Ludo?
Ooh,
here?
No. Can I ask you about your production company?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
Simbel.
Simbel.
And you do more than just productions. You support a community of women storytellers, I believe. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so Simbel is a nonprofit production company that we started in February. Well, it actually started with Before You. This was the inaugural film, but we launched the company in February, and we are very much dedicated to female stories. So we work with feature films, narrative films that have a female protagonist and have social impact. So far we have 5 films that we have come on to.
Great, good.
And one of them is Familiar Touch, which is nominated for 2 Gotham Awards. And we were working with Caring Across Generations. That's the organization that we've worked with.
I was there this morning.
Oh, wonderful.
Care
Okay.
Fest.
Yes.
We love them.
Yeah, so it's been a really incredible experience working with these other filmmakers. I think all 5 that we are working with right now happen to be first-time filmmakers, female filmmakers, just by happenstance, but it's been really incredible to, again, create more community and really expand the conversation of independent film beyond just film festivals, and, you know, seeing how we can really approach these narrative films in a way that is unique to expand their reach and the dialogue around social impact.
It's quite needed. It's a tough space at the moment, especially earlier career filmmakers, especially films with impact. So I support you very much in that journey. Any final question, or else I'm going to take it away. Okay. What do you hope is next for Before You and your career?
Yes. So Before You, I think you guys know we're running an Oscar campaign, so fingers crossed, vote. But we're hoping we get shortlisted and have the opportunity to show the film to more wider audience, and then we're going to continue to do the social impact campaign taking the film to universities, working with Karen to see how we can reach the Planned Parenthood outlets around the country. And I am developing my first feature, so I'm very excited about that. Yeah, so thank you. So, yeah, I think that's and hopefully expanding the reach of Symbol and being able to collaborate with more amazing artists and just continue to push forward.
I just want to say thank you again. Like, it's so, you are giving this very generous space by sharing your own story, which is quite vulnerable, not just in the film itself, but to sit in front of an audience time and time again and share your story in this landscape is a vulnerable thing to do, and it's so vital. So to give us this very human, cinematic, complicated film, to make that awareness impact, open the door for communication is so important. So I'm so thrilled that I was able to see it and be here with you for this. You're very talented. Congratulations, Laura. Thank you all. And vote if you can.
Share the film on social media and all the good stuff. If you
and cookies in the lobby.
Yes, and food. Thank you.